Tensed William Ruto copies Raila Odinga's political methods in bid to lure Kenyan youths into loving him. This Kenya Lens Media, where we give you news updates the way they break. And remember, if this is your first day here, kindly remember to subscribe as you support us grow this platform. Now, in a significant effort to address youth unemployment and skill gaps and also to get to love him, President William Ruto announced on January 8, 2026 that the government of Kenya will support 90,000 young people with paid on-the-job training, linking them to experienced artisans and technicians for hands-on learning while receiving a monthly stipend of 60,000 for up to 6 months. The set will also cover certification costs and remuneration for the master craftsmen and craftswomen who train the youth through key details such as selection criteria and programs' exact start date remain unclear. The announcement was made in Eldoret, where President Ruto outlined the National Youth Opportunities Towards Advancement Nyota project, a flagship initiative under the government's broader strategy to boost employment, enterprise development, and also skill training among the Kenya growing youth population. The plan also includes support for the persons with disabilities, recognition of the prior learning, and enhanced access to government procurement opportunities. Youth unemployment has been a persistent challenge in Kenya, with young people often facing long periods of joblessness after graduation or entering the workforce with limited practical skills. According to reports, Kenya has struggled to generate enough formal jobs for its expanding youth cohort, leading many to depend on informal work or low-paid gigs. Programs like Nyota aim to bridge the gap between education and employment by making training more accessible and relevant to labor market needs. And World Bank-supported initiatives have shown that targeted skill development can improve employability and income prospects. Despite the promise of financial support and training, critics and youth activists have highlighted systematic issues around job creation and the need for robust implementation frameworks to ensure that such programs translate into lasting opportunities rather than temporary support. The success of Nyota will likely rest on transparent selection, clear timelines, and measurable outcomes for participants. President Ruto's remarks reflected the multi-pronged approach of the Nyota project, which is being implemented in collaboration with the government agencies and international partners like the World Bank as part of Kenya's bottom-up economic transformation agenda. The initiative aims to address unemployment and underemployment by strengthening skills and improving youth access to labor markets and enterprise opportunities. Under the structure, 90,000 youths will receive structured on-the-job training attached to qualified master craftsmen and women to acquire practical skills during this period. Trainees will receive a stipend of 6,000 per month and certification upon completion, with government covering all the associated costs. 20,000 youths enrolled under the Recognition of Prior Learning (RPL) component will receive funding to formalize skills they have already acquired, smoothing their transition into formal employment or entrepreneurship. 600,000 persons with disabilities will be trained to participate in government procurement opportunities reserved for them, enhancing inclusivity and access to economic opportunities. The Nyota initiative also integrates entrepreneurship support, including business startup capital and saving incentives, helping young people launch ventures in their communities. By linking training with real work contexts and regulatory certification, the government hopes to strengthen labor markets, relevance, and economic participation. On the same day as his announcement in Eldoret, President Ruto oversaw the disbursement of 250 million to 9,500 young entrepreneurs who are part of the Nyota project across 6 counties, including Uasin Gishu, Elgeyo Marakwet, Nandi, Trans Nzoia, Turkana, and West Pokot. Each beneficiary received 22,000 to grow their businesses and an additional 3,000 deposited into their National Social Security Fund (NSSF) saving accounts, part of broader efforts to encourage savings and financial inclusion among youth. Officials have repeatedly stressed the importance of accountability and transparency in the rollout of Nyota funds. President Ruto underscored that the beneficiaries should be selected on basis of merit and not through favoritism and bribery, a point echoed in government communications aimed at reducing corruption and misuse in public programs. These efforts align with the wider government push to strengthen mechanisms and connect skill development with income generation, reflecting lessons learned from earlier youth employment schemes such as the Kenya Youth Employment and Opportunities Project (KYOP), also supported by the World Bank, which focused on training and entrepreneurship with support with mixed results. Youth unemployment is widely recognized economic and social challenge in Kenya, and young people often face barriers including limited access to quality education tailored to labor market needs, lack of practical skills, and difficulty accessing capital for entrepreneurial ventures. According to the World Bank, youth joblessness contributes to economic stagnation and social tensions when a large portion of the working-age population cannot find stable, gainful work. The Nyota project builds on previous interventions aimed at bridging the skills gap and promoting self-employment, integrating training, financial support, and certification to make participants more competitive. Its scale, targeting over 820,000 vulnerable youths across Kenya's 47 counties, reflects an ambitious effort to tackle hard-to-solve issues in youth employability and enterprise development. However, policy advocates and youth representatives emphasize that skill training must be paired with real job opportunities, private sector engagement, and stronger market linkages to be truly transformative. Without this, training could risk producing certified yet still unemployed graduates. Ensuring that the government and private employers value the qualifications and the competencies gained through Nyota, it is therefore essential. Kenya's economic development strategy over the past decade has included substantial investments in technical and vocational education and training TVET, and initiatives that aim to link educational outcomes with the labor market requirements. These reforms are part of broader national development frameworks, including Kenya Vision 2030, which seeks to create competitive workforce and reduce reliance on foreign labor. Skills development and job creation are central pillars of this long-term strategy. The Nyota project represents a continuation of and expansion of these reforms anchored in lessons from earlier job creation programs such as KYOP. While KYOP achieved some gains in entrepreneurship and skills certification, challenges in implementation and accountability highlighted the need for more integrated and scalable approaches, insights now informing Nyota structure and partnerships. Notably, the World Bank's backing underscores international confidence in multi-partner efforts to address complex youth employment dynamics with the support both of robust training components for systems that enhance employability and earning potential among young people. The Nyota initiative reflects Kenya's recognition that young people are both a demographic asset and an economic imperative. By integrating paid training, certification, and enterprise support, the program aims to break persistent cycles of unemployment and the low earning potential that have plagued youth in the country. It implements, or rather, if implemented effectively, Nyota could increase the employability of young people by equipping them with practical skills and recognized qualifications, boost entrepreneurship and business creation through financial support and saving incentives, strengthen economic participation among persons with disabilities, promoting inclusion and access to reserved government procurement. Crucially, the success of such initiatives hinges at transparent implementation, strong accountability mechanisms, and meaningful linkages with the private sector to ensure that training translates into suitable or rather sustainable employment and business growth. In a country where a growing youth population intersects with evolving economic demands, programs like Nyota could play a pivotal role in shaping Kenya's economic resilience and future competitiveness. The real test, however, will be turning these ambitious plans into tangible results that uplift lives and contribute to broader national development outcomes. That is all today from here, Kenya Lens Media, where you get news updates the way they break. Kindly, if you're new here, support us by subscribing, liking, and sharing our videos.